It might sound like the opening line to a dairy-themed sci-fi novel, but here it is. Can yogurt help heal the brain after injury? More specifically, can the tiny extracellular vesicles, EVs, released by bacteria and proteins during yogurt fermentation cross the blood-brain barrier and deliver therapeutic effects in the aftermath of stroke or traumatic brain injury, TBI? As wild as it seems, early preclinical research is beginning to suggest that the answer is cautiously optimistic. Yes, they just might. At the center of this emerging story are yogurt-derived EVs, nanoscopic lipid-bound particles naturally released by probiotic bacteria like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium during fermentation. These vesicles aren't just biological fluff. They carry proteins, small RNAs, metabolites, and lipids that serve as active signaling molecules. In essence, they're microscopic biological messengers, postal workers of the microbiome, delivering instructions to cells, often far beyond their original context. In models of brain injury, what matters first and foremost is whether these vesicles can actually reach the brain, crossing the notoriously selective blood-brain barrier, BBB. Several studies using labeled milk and bacteria-derived EVs have shown that under certain conditions, especially in the context of injury or inflammation, the BBB becomes more permeable, allowing EVs to slip through via transcytosis or receptor-mediated pathways. Once inside, these vesicles appear to interact with glial cells and neurons, potentially modulating inflammation and even promoting repair. In animal models of stroke and traumatic brain injury, dairy-derived EVs have been found to reduce neuroinflammation, lower oxidative stress, and in some cases, preserve neuronal structure. A portion of this effect may be due to their cargo of anti-inflammatory microRNAs, which downregulate cytokines like TNF-A and IL-1S, two major culprits in secondary brain injury. Additionally, some EVs seem to enhance expression of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, and promote mitochondrial stabilization in injured neurons, both of which are crucial for neuronal survival and plasticity. One particularly fascinating angle is the potential of yogurt EVs to modulate microglial activity. Microglia are the brain's immune cells, and in TBI or stroke, they often become hyperactivated, releasing a storm of inflammatory signals that do more harm than good. EVs derived from probiotic strains have demonstrated the ability to nudge microglia toward a more balanced M2-like state, supportive, anti-inflammatory, and neuroprotective. Beyond inflammation, there's also early evidence that these vesicles may support the rebuilding of vascular and neuronal networks. In injured brain tissue, vascular remodeling is essential for restoring oxygen and nutrient flow. Some yogurt EVs carry bioactive lipids and peptides that enhance endothelial cell migration and angiogenesis, laying the groundwork for better tissue perfusion post-injury. Others appear to interact with astrocytes and neural stem cells, potentially aiding in neurogenesis or synaptic recovery, though this remains speculative and heavily under investigation. Of course, it's still early. Most of the data comes from rodent models or in vitro systems, and translating this to human therapy is no small leap. There's also the question of delivery method. Oral yogurt consumption leads to digestion and breakdown of many EVs in the gut, so researchers are exploring encapsulated formulations, intranasal sprays, or even intravenous applications of purified dairy EVs to bypass these barriers. Nonetheless, what's emerging is a radically new concept that bioactive molecules derived from food fermentation might be able to cross into the central nervous system and help repair it. That yogurt, in its cultured wisdom, could provide not just comfort food but literal neurotherapy. In a world where stroke recovery options remain limited and TBI therapies are mostly supportive, even small gains from dietary-derived interventions could have huge implications. So yes, your yogurt may be smarter than it looks. With further refinement and clinical testing, those quiet vesicles packed into a spoonful of probiotic yogurt might one day become part of a recovery protocol, repairing blood vessels, calming inflammation, and whispering recovery messages directly into damaged neurons. It's still early days, but for now, the humble yogurt cup might just contain more than nutrition. It might contain healing.